Hello, Capricorn. Was not ready for that camera to come on. Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your April Soul Session. I'm Princess India if you're new, and if you're family, welcome back, my friend. So if you're not familiar with what my soul sessions are, they are your spirituality as well as personal development readings in which we look at the energies that you guys may encounter in a given month for the sole purpose of giving you some clarity, some insight, or, guidance or whatever it is that you're needing, my Capricorn friend. So anywho, all right, interesting. First card out is the Three of Swords. That's interesting. Before I turned the camera on, I was looking at the bottom of the deck and the Three of Swords in the reverse was at the bottom of the deck. So what it is looking like, my Capricorn friend. Okay. Coming out of March and into April, you guys are suffering with, I'm just going to go with the first words that come to me. You guys are suffering with or struggling with a heartbreak. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. If it is, I feel it's more or less like a disappointment in a romantic partner. There's also elements of this having a great deal to do with perception, right? So more or less, that's where I would say disappointment. Then we have the Magician in the reverse. The next card that came out, that's a whole nother message. We have the Empress and then we have the Magician in the reverse. The whole other message I got from that, some of you guys may actually have experienced a miscarriage in March. And this is interesting. I just heard miscarriage of justice. Okay, so that's three different things. Four, really? This is interesting. All right, so leaving out of March, coming into April, there's some of you guys who are dealing with a disappointment with a romantic partner. Others of you, it would still be disappointment, but it's more or less a perceptive thing. It's more or less how you all are perceiving what it is that transpired. It's like your mind attacking your heart, if you will. So it's kind of ruminating over or beating yourself up in the head in reference to a romantic partner or some affiliations with other people. The other group, and I say this in the sense of this may not be a huge group of people, but maybe one person, but having experienced a literal miscarriage in the month of March, and most certainly my apologies. I know that that's really tough. And then the other thing I heard was a miscarriage of justice. So with that, it feels almost as if the Capricorn person, and of course, Empress energy, that's Libra and Taurus energy, and the Magician is Aries energy. But this miscarriage of justice, it feels almost as if like being falsely accused by someone, like a person manipulating the situation. I don't know why I get the vibe with this, like almost like a person turning people against you. Or if you had a breakup with someone, it's like this person portraying you to other people in a negative light. Like, it's almost like a person being the aggressor, right? And whether this is romantic or this is like work related, but it's like if a person is the aggressor, like they're the person who really did wrong. And once whatever this breakup happens or what have you, gosh, and there's elements of jealousy in there. It's like this person going to other people and making you seem like the bad person, if that makes sense, but that's not really the truth. But then I also feel elements of this, like this being related to a position of power. So I don't know if it's like a job and say you had like a jealous coworker or something, and they went to a boss or they were involved in some kind of project, but they made it like where you took the fall for it or something like that. And them this is getting so deep, and them like taking a position from you, because if I were to say the energy signatures I feel, Capricorn, this really involves you guys and someone else. But the way that I'm picking up on this energy is it's like Capricorn would be the person who falls into this Empress energy, right? And this person would be hella jealous of you, right? So it's all, and I would even go as far as to say envious, because little known fact, there's a vast difference between jealousy and envy. Jealousy is something that you can utilize to like better yourself, right? Because it's more or less a subconscious way that your mind is saying that when you're jealous of someone, it's something that they're in possession of that you feel that you want, deserve, desire, what have you, right? So it's more or less just like a, signal or an alert saying like, you should do the work to get that thing that you want, because that means you want it. You wouldn't be jealous otherwise, right? Envy is an entirely different monster in the fact that envy is a little bit more malicious, in the fact that envy, a person who's envious of someone, they desire what the person has, but they also want that person to not have it and for them to have it, right? And they get a sense of validation from taking that thing from you and them being in possession of it and seeing you not have that thing, right? So it's a lot more malicious. But the vibe I get from this is this person looks to Capricorn as if they're representing what this Empress energy represents, right? So whether it's like you being the star at work, or if you're in a romantic partnership and you're successful and the person that you're with is unemployed or something like that, it's like a jealousy. And for some of you, it may be an envy where they feel they fail in comparison to you. You know what I mean? So whether it's this person is doing like, they're manipulating you, like psychological abuse or like mental abuse, or making you feel as if you're not good enough. And then another element of this I see is like, say if it's a woman who can't have children, or a woman who miscarried or has had a history of miscarriages, and this is like a romantic partnership, this would be being with someone who makes you feel like less of a woman because you don't have children or can't have children. And that's kind of like something that they are using against you or something like that. But it's like this malicious intent of what this person is doing is literally trying to snuff out your light because they're jealous of you, like very clearly. And then the moon card came out, and that's Cancerian energy. And this gives us a marker point for the 26th of April. You know what I'm saying? So if this is like a whole expose kind of thing, Capricorn, so whether this person has been doing stuff behind your back, or there's this miscarriage of justice type of deal, it's more or less this is going to come to a head and you guys having clarity on it by the 26th of April. And if you guys are trying to make a decision by that time frame of whether or not this job, this person, this relationship, or whatever this is referring to for you, if this is something you should walk away from or let go, that would be your marker point of you making a decision. Wow. Then we have the Four of Pentacles. So here's the deal. This feels like a toxic enmeshment. And it's labor and breathing. So this is all heavy. This is a toxic enmeshment with this Four of Pentacles here. And what this is saying to me, wow. And then we have Scorpio energy that is really with the Death card. This is very much speaking to the 26th of April. Huge, huge for you guys. Because what this is, Capricorn, the essence of who you are is represented by this Empress energy. And this is whether you guys are aware of it or not. And I'm leaning more towards you guys not being aware of it, right? And this falls into, and this goes back to, if you've been with me for a long time, or if you read Motherfuck Twin Flames, I spoke a lot about this. This is kind of like the empath, light worker, narcopendant, narcissist dynamic that I'm seeing play out here. So you have a person, in so many words, who is spiritually inclined, has intuitive gifts, is empathic, has a heart for other people, probably works in a a helping profession or something of the sort, that gets aligned with this person whose life is just completely out of alignment, whose life is completely just chaotic, and they kind of fake the funk, right? Externally, this person can seem like they're super dope, but behind closed doors, they really have yet to accomplish literally anything. They're scammers and they're schemers and they are loafs. You know what I'm saying? And they more or less ride the coattails of other people, right? But the person who's the empath or the light worker or what have you has a tendency to have insecurities, right? So if we were to look at this Three of Swords, this could be a heartbreak that stems all the way back to one's childhood, that's continually perpetuated in friendship dynamics, relationship dynamics, and work culture dynamics, right? And it's rooted in an insecurity. So it's not trusting one's own judgment, right? Or feeling as if one is flawed in some way, shape, form, or fashion, which puts one in a mold of codependency where they have a tendency to overcompensate, right? So you have this person, which is our magician in the reverse, right? This would be someone who externally projects something that and I'm saying this like as my Capricorn person for this energy signature I'm seeing, right? So my Capricorn person would be the Empress, right? So you end up encountering someone who externally seems to possess that thing that the Capricorn person would feel that they're lacking, whether that's in a romantic partner, a friend, right? Co-worker, boss, what have you, business partner, doesn't matter, right? But in reality, this person really ain't got nothing going on because they're just all smoke and mirrors, right? So, but this person that the magician in the reverse represents, they see in you what you don't see in yourself, right? And because they're schemers and scammers and coattail riders and loafs and opportunists and things of the sort, right? They want to use what you have going for you for their benefit. So in order to do that, they have to put you in like a subjugated position. So they're going to make you doubt yourself even more, right? If you're in a position to where you're unable to have kids, right? Or, and this is something else I've just heard, even if you have children or if you don't, and in your past, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that word on YouTube, but it's when you terminate a pregnancy, right? And say you've done that in your past, like this is stuff this person would constantly bring up to make you feel less than, that triggers this insecure feeling that one has because it keeps you in a submissive position, right? So this person uses you being in your submissive position to their benefit. This sounds so much like this Derek Jackson video that I'm about to put out. That is so ironic. But anywho, but they keep you in the subjugated position because if you're consistently doubting yourself, they can benefit off of whatever it is that you have going on. And if we talked about this in the dynamics of like narcissism, it would be narcissistic supply, financial support, or, whatever it is that they're using this person as a crutch for, right? But in the midst of this person is projecting to the external world how great they are, how dope they are. And the miscarriage of justice more or less comes in the fact that whether this is a relationship, dynamic, friendship, whatever, business partnership, it doesn't matter. People see this person that would be the Empress, right, as like the bad person or a negative person or a leech on this person that this person needs to get away from, right? But more or less what this would be saying to me is come the 26th of April, this is offering you all an opportunity to see the truth of this or other people seeing the truth of this situation, right? But the issue here with this Four of Pentacles is that I'm feeling with Capricorns, you guys aren't seeing this way. I think this person, whoever this is representing for you all, is playing on your insecurities, but you guys aren't aware of that. And it's more or less you're holding on because you either feel it's the right thing to do, or you're holding on to bitterness or the hurt. Because even if this is something like, if I'm telling a whole story about something that transpired in March or even prior to this, the thing that would be holding you guys back from transforming, because of course this entire month is all about with the full moon in Scorpio, about us transforming via practical shadow work. So it's us seeing how wounds from our past have molded us into someone that we're not. You know what I'm saying? And how we harbor those emotions with us, and our minds attack our heart because we're consistently reliving this, where we're unable, because we're holding on to this pain, we're unable to see our proverbial inner empress. You know what I mean? And we're preventing ourselves from transforming because this baggage or these wounds become scales over our eyes that prevent us from seeing the truth of the beauty of who we are. And we settle for a lot, or put up with a lot, or allow people to cross our boundaries or what have you, because we're not realizing that the connection comes from this wounding from the past. So I feel it's two different dynamics. There's some Capricorn people where this is someone who's presently in your life. There's other Capricorn people where this is something that transpired in the past that's existing in your mind, in your core beliefs and your emotions. And it's having you to hold on to these wounds, right? To where you're not seeing the beauty of who it is that you are. But what all of this would be saying is, by the end of the month, either this becomes clear to you, the truth of the situation is revealed to you, and the task that you guys would have is acknowledging this, taking ownership of this, making a connection, and choosing to either walk away from this situation or this person, this job, what have you, or starting to put effort into the direction of releasing this mindset, right? Which is the reason why I've literally been telling everyone this entire month about starting to go to therapy. It does not have to be with me, right? In my description box, there's a link to BetterHelp, right? So it doesn't have to be me. You can get a therapist anywhere. You can go on Psychology Today. You can go literally anywhere. There's a plethora of different resources to access therapy. But a lot of these things, when I say practical shadow work, this is literally stuff where a couple of positive affirmations, or, you know, making a vow of I'm not going to allow that anymore, or I'm just going to set up boundaries. That this isn't something you can just like snap of a finger change. Like, this is stuff you have to process: traumas, emotions, beliefs, things that you've been through throughout the course of your life that you need to process, right? And that's no task for a person to take on their own. But all in all, it's more or less me seeing it's either holding on to this person, holding on to the situation, this job, abuse, whatever the case may be, but it's holding on to it because of this insecurity that one has. When in reality, whoever this person is or was, they saw your light and were attempting to snuff it out, right? And you guys not releasing it is what's stagnating you. And this is more or less a call for you guys to move forward and to transform so that you can see yourselves as you actually are. Whoa, we got the sun card at the bottom of the deck. That's Leo energy. This is all about you guys seeing yourself for who it is that you really are, right? Because I feel that that's something you guys have not seen in some time. You know what I mean? Because of either manipulation from this person or just past wounds. But the person who caused you pain, whether in the past or in the present, that has you doubting yourself, they've been saw it. You know what I'm saying? They've been saw that. They're just using it for their advantage. So, and that's where I say it all goes back to a sense of jealousy. It's like this, or envy. It's like this person not wanting you to see that. And this is when we start getting into like energy and all that stuff, dude, like lower vibrational energy and all of that, and getting into the call of like people who are light workers and what it is that people who are light workers are here for and here to do, and why it is that you have a tendency to align with people like this, because it's the direct contrast. Like, that is the reason why I wrote this book. I'm not going to go on a TED Talk rant This is so triggering for me. It makes me so angry, dog, because it's like there's work to be done here. Like there's people with calls on their lives that have spiritual gifts that are here to help raise the consciousness of humanity and shift the way that our world is going. But it's this desperate seeking for love from people who are not even capable of giving it to you. You know what I'm saying? It's not even a thing of a person being rejected or you being unlovable, because it's never the case. It's just the fact that a lot of these freaking people, especially people who fit into this, you know, whole triad of narcissism, you know what I mean? These are people who are incapable of doing such of a thing. So it's trying to get blood from a turnip. It is trying to get water from a well that has long since run dry, and basing one's personal worth and value on a person's inability to love you when they're not able to love anyone else, right? And in the bigger scheme of things, what people are really looking for is reconnection with the divine. That is what the obsession with romantic love relationships is, or people feeling as if there's a piece of themselves that's missing. You know what I'm saying? And it's never to say that we're not supposed to get married or be in relationships or be in love. You know what I'm saying? But it's like this whole like twin flamey type of stuff that has been going on and has been what's hot in the streets since like 2017 is driving people who have a call on their life and are here to represent spirit, to align themselves with people who are perfectly, ideally, I have no idea how I was trying to say that word, but are perfectly ideally aligned with darkness, right? That are in positions of authority over you, that are, you know, parents, siblings, you know, romantic partners who see light in you and have this insatiable desire to snuff out your light. And it's allowing it to happen and still continuously trying to hold on to these people. And so much so that it's creating an entire ethos that is aligned with spirit, right? That says that somehow transformation comes from aligning with darkness, and how somehow holding space and allowing one's boundaries to be crossed or one to be abused or taken advantage of, you know what I'm saying? To be re-traumatized is somehow some type of spiritual divine transformation that is going to raise the overall consciousness of humanity, when in reality, it's keeping a lot of people out of alignment with their calling, with their purpose, with their personal value, with their self-love, with their self-worth. You know what I'm saying? That is the ultimate miscarriage of justice, right? But all of this is about having an opportunity to see the truth of this situation. You know what I'm saying? And taking your power back. Because this really feels to me of just like a misunderstanding of what being a nice person is. You know what I'm saying? And it's allowing oneself to be taken advantage of, you know? But this whole month, Capricorn, is about you guys coming out of agreement with that. Now, if you want more context to this, because I can tell at this point, with it being Capricorn, and there's like, I think it's just Aquarius and Pisces that are after you guys. So with all of the signs that I have done this month, you guys included, all of these are multiple facets of one story, right? Not trying to just tell y'all to get the Wokebook, but in the Wokebook, there's a whole section that explains how to watch my soul sessions for you to see the entire picture, right? There's like a whole little thing that you fill out and like a whole little diagram on how to watch, what to watch and whatnot, right? But because we have all these wonderful major arcanas here, I can tell you guys it would behoove you to watch the Libra reading, to watch the Taurus reading, whether you have that in your chart or not, because 9 times out of 10, you probably got it somewhere. To watch the Aries reading, most importantly, because it's Aries season, right? So that's something that's going to influence the entire collective. Take a gander at Cancer's reading, take a gander at Scorpios, and take a gander at Leos. And I promise you, you're going to see the other half of this story in all of those readings. I kid you not. You know what I'm saying? Humor yourself and try it out. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, that's been your reading. I still did a TED Talk anyway. I love your face, Capricorn. I just hate to see people taken advantage of by these little cretins. Anywho, I'm going over to my network to do you guys extended. So if you're about that life, follow me on over there. If not, I still love your face, my friend. And I will see you guys sooner than later. Love your face, Cappy.